this thing on? What's happening here? It appears to be on. Yep. Okay. I guess it is. I don't think that's accurate, but whatever. I'm not changing that. So this stream is brought to you by whiteboard markers. They're awesome. Okay. Let's see. What are we looking at today? Well, this was the Coal Concrete Company, wasn't it? Yeah, looks like it was. They have any news? Not sure. So Q4 results, earning call transcript. I don't want to read that. Insights. Ooh, insights. That's a lot of words. And debt. More
Delcast
words.
ticker Delta Charlie Tango Hotel shares selling off after briefly touching over the $13 level. The stock back down to around $12.30. That's ticker Delta Charlie Tango Hotel.
Nice. All right, we'll come back to that when we need some more excitement. I'm going to start a little slow today. We have the bingo card set up and ready to go for the infrastructure bill. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for a full, is it called a blackout when you get all the ones, or just as soon as you get a row it's bingo, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Pretty sure. I try to make it hard though, but I think that's like a quick win, right? Actually, that's a win. This is a tough one. This should be worth more points. I don't know. We'll see. So, some stocks I am looking at for the infrastructure bill, even though everyone says it's not going to matter. I think that right now, people would like anything to matter, including myself. So, General Electric, starting off with that one, which all signs have pointed to selling this one, which I was in it, and then I got out, and then I got back in it because General Electric should make money from wind power. In fact, they did recently, didn't they? Vietnam or something. Numbers. Well, it's in here somewhere. I don't know. They did. They're making wind turbines. They got a contract with South Korea or Vietnam. One of the two. I read it earlier, and it's already got its spike since then. Could do a quick just peek over on this and do GE, and then contract, right? Yeah, that should work. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it's one of the other ones. Well, whatever. It's not why I got it. So that should be fine. So General Electric, there's a couple things I liked about them. They're involved in wind power. That's important, right? Because wind power is one of the bingo cards, right? Wind, close enough. And another thing, I guess we go to the monthly real quick. That might do it. So whatever happened there, I don't know. That I don't know, and this I don't know. But here we go. So in November of 2007, somewhere around there, General Electric begins to fall. Who knows why? I don't know why. I'm not going back through news articles and reading all that nonsense. It's too many words. But it falls until November, December, January, February of 2009. Then it rises slowly, but steadily. It increases, right? I mean, pretty much until January 2017. And then it falls pretty steadily. And then it kind of just hangs out here and it falls a little bit more until around October, November of 2020. It rises. So, I don't know. It could be a coincidence and have nothing to do with it, but I feel as though General Electric, at least over this span of time, does better when the Democrats have the White House. I don't know if that means for the Senate and the House and all that. And like I said, it could be a complete coincidence. I don't know. But there's an infrastructure bill coming out. And it looks like if it's not that reason, for some reasons, it's been going up. It's been having its day. And it dropped February 2020. Yeah. Okay, so that's COVID, right? And then it got all the way up here. And it was like, nope, that's it. We're out of here. And then there's a whole bunch of doom and gloom, and it didn't do too well. And I had it, I don't remember where. I think I got out at 350, if I remember. And now I'm back in. So I skipped this whole nonsense right here and got right back in it. And that's because the Democrats are in power, right? And so if that is correct, if there's a correlation there, then maybe. And there's an infrastructure bill that I guess isn't even really going to be out until maybe July or some nonsense, which, great. But they're going to talk about it today. They're going to talk about it, and it shouldn't mean anything, and the majority of the market should probably have already made their decision on what that is, except for, I don't know, I didn't look too hard, but I couldn't really find anything stating exactly what the bill is, and we don't know who's going to actually benefit from the bill. We have a general idea as to what sectors are going to benefit, and what types of companies. And wind power, and General Electric's not just a wind power company, but they make wind turbines, right? Isn't that something they're big on? And if you go to their site, I'm sure it's like a million things. Can't even link me to the site. It's not a hard one to find, right? General Electric. Let's see. Oh, not General Electric. Biden. Tried to see if there was a correlation in that at some point. GE.com. Investors, businesses, Capital Digital Healthcare Power. What is that? Is it power or renewable energy, I wonder, that it would be under? Words. Oh boy. Okay. London Calling. That's pretty funny. Okay, so we got steam, nuclear, gas, services. So I think it's going to be under the renewable. So they've separated their. Ah, geez, where was that? Renewable energy. Okay. Wind, hydro, solar, and hybrid power. So it looks like they're in everything. Is this part of a windmill? These things. What is blade plant? Making blades. That's insane. That thing is huge. Look at that guy. That thing is huge. It's huge. Yeah, so offshore wind turbine, Cypress offshore, green something, wind. Let's see their onshore wind. Let's see their portfolio. They got some platforms. Yeah, so anyways, I mean, it seems like they would stand to benefit from this. Agreement with North Central Wind Energy Facilities. Upgrade Nepal's grid. I mean, they're doing stuff, right? Is that going to make the stock go or not? I don't know. Hoping it does. I guess from a technical perspective, a lot of people would say it doesn't matter and that it's going to continue to sell off and that it's at its highs right now and that it's going to pull back to, who knows, maybe 11, hopefully not more than that. But maybe less, maybe back down, and it fights around this range. But I don't know. Maybe you know, maybe it can hit some. Would it be all-time highs? No, it wouldn't be all-time highs at all. There's plenty of room to get there. So I don't know. It wouldn't be too unheard of to get in here, would it? Maybe. That seems like a long time. What time is that? It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me what it is. Well, how am I going to know? I guess I just have to guess, right? I'll just do monthly real quick. It's an easy way to guess. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sticking around that long. So, let's just hope that it gets a good spike, and we'll play with it for a couple of days and hopefully not lose anything on it. And if it looks like we're going to, maybe then we just hold GE for a long period of time. Who knows? Whatever. Now this is another one I looked at, and I almost went this direction instead. Another wind player, Vestas Wind Systems. And looks like they already got a bump since yesterday. So I'm sure a lot of these jumps with these guys is because you know, different news outlets saying wind and mentioning that with the infrastructure bill. February 10th. But yeah, I think if I remember correctly, they were actually, yeah, look, they're doing good there. Doing good there. And doing great there, which means they can do a lot of things if they want to. They have a lot of room to breathe in the decisions they make. Whereas a company like GE, I think, oh, we're looking at GE. No, we're not. Is that GE we were just looking at? No. Yeah, that's a little bit different right there. That's good, and that's not great. So they still can do plenty of things. And this is from December, so they still have a lot of room to move to do whatever they want. But they're not only a wind company, and so it's not the same. This company has a lot of breathing room, all things considered, right? Stock's trading higher, but I mean, it's, you know, they're not the same type of company. Another one. Website's not in there. Let's see if we can see what these guys look like. Wind turbine. Vestas website uses cookies. Thanks. Don't care. That's a cool picture. Well, it's gone now. Then there's a magazine in its place. That's nice. Looks like oil spilled on their floor. We are looking company announcements, maybe? March 5th, notice convening the annual general meeting. Whatever. Well, this is pretty boring. Let's see what they do. Maintenance. I wonder how much of their income is from maintenance. I'm not going to go into all that. But I feel like these guys are another potential option. So we're going to keep an eye on them. And we are hoping to see some action during the infrastructure bill. I mean, you know, comes on at 420, which is an odd. Maybe they're going to like put a lot of money into grow houses, and that's why it's at 420, or just a complete coincidence that is hilarious, and they knew it would be hilarious, so it's not a coincidence. I don't know. Who knows why people do these things? But I mean, for something that appears to be, you know, not a bad deal, right? I think it's worth watching. That's what I think. I think we may see some interesting things come from that. But I'm betting on this one because, you know, it's General Electric. We also have Portland General Electric. That was an interesting one. I think a few people said that these guys may benefit from the infrastructure bill. I don't think this is going to be like the Trump era. The Trump era, I think it was a little bit, not always, but it was frequently pretty obvious when, you know, Trump would do a press campaign or press release, or if he even did that, or tweet about something, he would stand up there with the owners and CEOs of companies. So you kind of had an idea as to who was going to benefit from the changes right away. I don't think we're going to hear that from Biden. I don't think we're going to hear, it'd be nice if we did, but I don't think we're going to hear like, oh, we're going to do infrastructure and wind power and rely on our friends at General Electric. I don't think we're going to hear that kind of language. But if we did, it may cause it to move a little bit better. So maybe I could send him a tweet and tell him to do that. I wonder if he'd look. No, probably not. So let's see here. Portland General Electric. Any exciting stuff going on here? Some forms. Oh, this is major. Oh, we have analyst ratings. Oh, that's probably something I should have looked at on GE too. Well, whatever. Let's see here. Calendar and analyst ratings and sell. Prior rating was sell, and now it's neutral. Okay. And that's Goldman Sachs. So, I mean, they're not new, right? Maybe Insoo Kim is. I don't know. I don't think. But let's see here. Get some information. I mean, it looks like, I don't know if Insoo is a guy or a girl. Honestly, I'm not sure how the placement of the name is set up now that I'm thinking about this. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, okay, so Insoo is the first name. Yeah, okay. But whether Insoo is a girl or a guy's name, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can find out. It's, oh, no, can't tell. Can't really tell. I think it's a guy, though. Yep, just, not sure. Let's see here. So they said to sell, and then they changed their mind to, I guess, neutral, which means they don't care anymore. And we got Sophie Karp, who says it's overweight, and 49, it's at 47. So none of these things are too promising, and I'd have to, I mean, that was from January, so I don't know what that means. But the Goldman Sachs one is maybe a little better, because you'd have to think that they know some information about what's possible to go inside the infrastructure bill. So they should have a good idea, right? Let's see, we got a little bit of movement here, but not much. I mean, it's it doesn't have much room. Well, it's got a little bit. It could really go either way. I think this is going to be a sleeper until Biden starts talking, or whoever's talking in this thing. Who knows if he's even the one going to be doing all the talking. Look, that's it. Now everybody's selling. Now it's over. They can't wait. They couldn't wait just a few minutes for Biden to tell us what's the deal before they just started to unload this nonsense. So that's too bad. It really is too bad. And General Electric, it's going to move whether this happens or not. It doesn't care. Let's hope it cares a little bit more when this happens. Did we already lose money on this? Oh, I didn't mark the, don't have it marked. That's okay. I got another sheet. Whoa. There we go. Now, this company has infrastructure in the name. So I mean, you'd have to assume that a company with infrastructure in the name is going to get a little bit of a bump, even if it's just from people typing in infrastructure and thinking, what's going to increase from the infrastructure bill? Well, infrastructure and energy alternatives. Sounds logical to me. Infrastructure and Energy Alternatives, Inc. is a United States-based diversified infrastructure construction company with specialized energy and heavy civil expertise throughout the United States. The company operates in two segments, the renewable segment and the special civil segment. The renewable segment, which is the majority revenue generator, provides EPC, project delivery, design, site development, construction, installation, and restoration of infrastructure services for the wind and solar industries throughout the United States, while Specialty's Civil segment offers heavy civil construction, environment remediation, and rail infrastructure services all over the United States. God, this thing is the infrastructure bill, right? Hold on. What's going on here? Is there news on this? Ooh, there's a lot of forms there. Let me 5.6%. So it's already getting a bump, and I don't have to chase any. Oh, this ride may be a little bumpy, maybe a little bit too late. It is worth paying attention, I think. Oh no. Now we're gonna have to. I think we already shooted our shot our shoot, whatever. We already made our plays. We're sticking with what we got. We're not doing anything, even though this is worth maybe revisiting, since the infrastructure bill shouldn't get finalized, I guess, until July, they were saying. Who knows if it'll happen earlier, but if it takes until July to get finalized, then there should be plenty of room to play on some of these, which should be nice, based off of rumors and, so-and-so from infrastructure and energy alternatives ate at the same restaurant that Biden's cousin ate at, maybe. That kind of stuff. Ooh, what's General Electric doing over there? It's trying. All right, we're just going to stare at the stocks for a minute while I talk to this. Oh, that was exciting. All right, now we have AMD. AMD is an odd one. This is an odd thing to be looking at for the infrastructure bill, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if an infrastructure bill comes out and if Wiener Schnitzel was a publicly traded company, it'd have a chance to gain from it. It's government, and it's a bill, and many things that shouldn't be in there are, and maybe AMD is, and maybe AMD isn't, but I don't know. I think it's likely. That's why it's on the list. So, okay. So a lot of action. They got anything to say for themselves? Thinking about trading. What? That's not from them. Is that a press? How is that a press release? What? Let's see. New way to play crypto. Boom. AMD. Blah blah blah. I don't know. There's a lot of blah involved in that. What about this? No, what about this? There we go. Shares of semiconductor chip stocks are trading higher amid the global chip shortage concerns. The sector may also be moving higher in anticipation of U.S. infrastructure plans, which could impact demand. So, I guess there's a variety of different ways that semiconductors could be affected by infrastructure. It's interesting. It's an odd thing. Like, it's not, I don't think this would have been a thing 10 years ago when you talked about infrastructure to think about semiconductors. Maybe it was. Maybe it was and I just wasn't paying attention. But I feel like this is a new brave world where now infrastructure includes like a large portion of technology. But is AMD the one? Most likely, right? I mean, if you were gonna guess on a semiconductor company to be affected by infrastructure, you would probably have to guess on AMD. I think they're like a given and maybe not the biggest boost, but it could be completely wrong. There are other things going that could still cause the boost, so who knows. But I think it's because 5G and I mean, but there's also EV cars, electric vehicles, and that whole play. So I guess semiconductors, they're involved one way or the other in a lot of infrastructure today. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to think about. Qualcomm. There are probably better plays for 5G, but I mean, it's Qualcomm. Look, shares of semiconductors and chip stocks are trading. So it's in this list as well. And it's not surprising. 5G, cell phones, Qualcomm. I mean, it's not complicated, right? They're already pretty high up there. Man, let's see. Did they just go up? Did they even have? They did. Okay, so COVID came and they had a drop like everyone else, which is a little surprising because I figure everyone gets stuck in their house and just cell phones go through the roof. Just order them online. I don't know. But it looks like they dropped. They rose like everything else. And here they are moving back and forth. And that could... What happened here? What was that? February 21st. Oh, that was it March or February when all the growth stocks and the tech stocks took that big dive? Look at that. That's brutal. Man. That makes you wonder. So, yeah. I actually really like Qualcomm now that I'm looking at it. I believe in them as a company. I believe in you, Qualcomm. But in addition to that, I think there's a good chance that they could get some nice gains. And maybe it is just going to continue to fall and drop down. But if I had to become a long-term investor in Qualcomm, it would not break my heart for that to be the case. Do they do dividends? Overview. Yeah. Looks like they do dividends too. So I mean, it wouldn't be the worst one to become a long-term investor in. That's for sure. Some people may disagree with that. I don't care. What I do care about is, wow, that's scary too. That and that. I mean, that wouldn't be unheard of, Anyways, so another potential play for infrastructure, Qualcomm, right? 5G, I guess, among other things that are a possibility. And then United Airlines Holding. So I was in this recently and had to get out because although I was hoping the recovery was coming in strong and this thing was going to Gonna get back to pre-COVID here, or at least to COVID price point, and have a lot of room, and I still think that it will. It just wasn't doing anything for me. Sitting around and just doing nothing, and you know, I had to take what I could get and get out. So I'll probably get back into this at some point, but I may be too late to get the goods from it because infrastructure, right? Airports, do they? I don't know. So what's the deal with that? I mean, we gotta help out the airlines. The only reason why we have airlines is because the government has helped out airlines since the beginning, or we would not have these international airports, right? I mean, would capitalism on its own have built these airports and created this ability for us to fly around at these costs? I doubt it. I think it would have, leaned more towards buses and trains, maybe. Probably trains. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't think the airports would have ever gotten, just like we wouldn't have electricity if the government wouldn't have came in and, helped set up the infrastructure for this. So technically, airlines is infrastructure, and it's been hit pretty hard. I don't know if they're going to give them a bunch of money to, open up new Starbucks locations, but there's some places that have seen exponential growth in population, and their airports are, in a rough spot and can't, or couldn't before COVID, facilitate the amount of consumers that are trying to get in and out of there, especially after 9/11 with, for a while you had to wait in line for like your whole life. Yeah, you mention airlines or airplanes or trips, and my kids come running immediately. And even the dogs get excited. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think these guys are going to get a bit of a bump. Hold on. Anyways, so out of all the airlines that are out there, this is the one that I have the most confidence in. And so just trying to watch to see if we get some action when these guys start talking about an infrastructure bill, because I feel like they should, or I feel like they would. I feel like it's inevitable that we're going to see something come. They're not going to let the airlines fall to the wayside. They're definitely going to help out the airlines before the cruise industry, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't trust any of these people at this point. You just can't trust any of them. Who knows what's going on? Let's see, we got nonsense going on here. Nope. All right. So we got United Airlines and Caterpillar. So John Deere is probably the better pick on this, but I don't know. I feel like Caterpillar's got, it's got room to get up there. Look at John Deere, 376. Oops. And Caterpillar is 232. So I don't know. I feel like it's a better option to go through here. Wow, well, look at that. That's a little scary right there. What was that? March 21st. No, March 10th. March 10th. What happened? Did something happen? Now, is Caterpillar or John Deere in the AREC space thing? I think it's John Deere is and not Caterpillar, right? Oh, look. Caterpillar benefits from the infrastructure bill. These 21 stocks benefit. Ooh, Caterpillar, Vulcan Materials. How did I not think, even on page 3 here of the different companies I was thinking of, Vulcan didn't make the list. How did Vulcan not make the list? This is, I've been watching these, but these are going to have to change. We're going to have, there's not even enough room. There's not enough room for this. I don't even know what's the ticker symbol for that. Let's see, that's there, and VMC. How did that not show up? I feel embarrassed. Oh my God, what happened here? March 21st, 31st. What in the world? COVID. Nobody wants to buy rocks, I guess. This is interesting. This is very interesting. All right, we're gonna make some space for a couple more that are on this list. In fact, we could probably could have got them by just going to the news and clicking that, and then clicking these. And can I click these? Caterpillar. No, it's just going to switch them right over. All right, well, that's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and add 2 more. Oh no! What happened? American Waterworks, AWP. Oh, we got Vulcan there. We got them there now. All right. We got room for 1 more. That's all we can take here. So I guess these are at the top, right? U.S. Steel's on our list. This is not in John Deere. URI. URI or CMI. I guess we got room for both, right? United Rentals and CMI? What's CMI here? All right, good. Yeah, so they have already been coming up here. See if they have any news of their own. American Water to purchase Egg Harbor City water and sewer system for $21.8 million. Oh, they didn't pay cash. When was that? So that's going up, and let's say that's an income that's going to go down. All right, so American Waterworks. This is an interesting one. I'd have to keep an eye on it. United Rentals. Another one not on my list, but this is a bit exciting, right? United Rentals. I mean, just about anything that's going to be done in infrastructure. You could say John Deere and Cat and all those. So we're going to do an Infra 4 and move it over here and go back to John Deere, which we weren't really looking at. We were just comparing it. We're looking at Caterpillar, and I like Caterpillar and still have faith in it, and I think it's got a lot of room to move. Is it the one going to space? I don't remember now. It's I don't think so. It looks like that was probably John Deere that made the tweet with the picture of the tractor in space. But, I mean, come on. If John Deere ends up in space, there's probably going to be a Caterpillar one up there too. Because, I don't know. I mean, both are going to be used in major projects, but I don't know. Does Caterpillar even have much of a residential market? I mean, for like small, can we just go to their website? Is that, thank you. Let's see. Okay. Caterpillar owns solar turbines? I did not know that. How did I not know that? I guess it's important to read sometimes. Wouldn't it be funny if solar turbines started actually doing solar? That's interesting. So yeah, I don't think there's... Maybe one of these is more Mac? Marine engines. No, see, I don't think that they really... I don't know if Caterpillar even really touches the residential market that much, if at all. I mean, other than somebody getting a skidster and moving some earth around their house from renting it from URI, probably. Let's see here. Residential generators. What do they sell? Products. Oh, okay. Well, we just put that over there, I guess. We already accepted that, so I don't know why you're making me do it twice. New products, parts, cat merchant. Oh, they sell shirts. I mean, so used equipment. This guy's, I'm a smart buyer. I'm buying the used stuff. Rental products. Yeah, none of this really, like these guys don't seem to be making lawnmowers, you know? John Deere, on the other hand, you might see some from them. Let's see, what time is it? Gotta keep an eye on this. Make sure we catch this thing when it happens, so we can hear what these guys are talking about. Anyways, let's see. So let's take a look at Deere real quick. So Deere touches the residential market, and Caterpillar seems to be only for commercial. So since that's the case, I mean, it's not really the best way to look at it, but that means if something happens with the infrastructure bill, then Caterpillar should, you know, definitely get a bump. So will John Deere, right? Yeah, I guess John Deere makes more sense for space because you got to have space lawn mowers. Government, military. Our tax dollars. Going for the all right. Anyways, power system. That's exciting. That's interesting. The military discount. Does the military get the discount, or just military personnel gets the discount? The military calls, they raise the price, and if it's military personnel, then they get the discount. So it evens out, right, in the long run. Anyway, so we're watching Cat, and we'll probably keep an eye on John Deere too. But Caterpillar is what I am interested in watching to see if anything happens in the guess the next few minutes here. Uh-oh. Okay, All right, so there's Caterpillar. What else have we got? We got Columbus McKinnon Corporation. Why are they on the list? I think these are on the list because I found them on someone else's list. So let's see. Columbus McKinnon Corp is a designer, manufacturer, marketer of motion control products, technologies, automated systems, and services that efficiently and ergonomically move, lift, position, and secure materials. Its key products include hoist, crane components, actuators, rigging tools, light rail, workstations, and digital power and motion control systems. Geographically, it has sales in the US, Germany, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Canada. It's all over the world. Yeah, so they definitely would benefit from an infrastructure bill, right? One degree or another. And it makes me wonder if the list that I found it on, because I think it was a major news article that I found the list on, if they're saying that they're going to benefit from this, I'm wondering if they know something else. Because when you talk about doing large operations, some names are gonna get thrown out behind closed doors. Not saying it's evil or anything, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna give all the money to Columbus McKinnon Corp. Maybe that's what they're doing, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if they're saying we want to build some roads or bridges or airports or whatever it is they want to build, then they have to look at it and say, well, who's going to do this? Who are the potential people that can take on these contracts if we put these out? Doesn't mean they're picking those contracts, but there has to have been some names thrown around behind closed doors and at dinners and restaurants and fancy parties, right? So, Columbus McKinnon Corp. There's a good chance, if that is the case, they're already way past pre-COVID. And I don't know, not a bad one, right? Not a lot of action, too, for the day, which is... This is probably what it... No, this is the 31st. Maybe the article was from today. That's when it dropped, but it saw some action in the morning. Like a lot of stuff does. Sells off, and now it's working its way back up there. And so, who knows? Maybe we see something with that. I don't think anyone would argue with this one. I think this is the guarantee play. Why? I'm not in it, I don't know. But every time I hear U.S. Steel, all I can think of is, you mean to tell me if I put you in a U.S. Steel at 16, take you out at 41, you wouldn't say, Chester, buy another couple. So, U.S. Steel, if they don't benefit, in sympathy, United States Steel shares are trading higher in sympathy with Cleveland Cliffs, which issued strong guidance for Q1, Q2, and fiscal year 2021. Yeah, if U.S. Steel doesn't benefit from a infrastructure bill that the government is doing, then something has changed at U.S. Steel, right? Because is there, I don't know. I haven't researched it, but I would guess if you were to give me, some decent odds, I might place a bet that they've benefited from just about every single infrastructure bill that has occurred in the United States since U.S. Steel has been around, or at least a very good majority of them. And if by benefit I mean they got a piece of everyone. Maybe not the biggest piece, maybe not a bigger piece that they did previously, but I'm pretty sure that they've gained a lot in this arena. That's their thing, right? They make steel, they got money. They're I mean, they're healthy, right? They're it's not like they're hurting or anything. Their chart's a little odd, you know? 2018. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what's happening. So, it's interesting though. And it looks like everybody has already been all over this. And I don't know when they first started talking about infrastructure. I think, I mean, you knew infrastructure was going to happen, whether it was Biden or it was Trump, right? I mean, either way, there was going to be some infrastructure. But with it being a Democrat or Biden, you knew for sure they'd have to do infrastructure because they say it all the time. And if they didn't do that, maybe there's a chance that the people who voted for him would remember next time it came to vote. Probably not, but maybe they think they would. Who knows? And so because of that, let's see. Yeah, so this thing's just coming down, and then November comes, and no one's 100% sure, and then you remember there's the whole stop the steal, and who knows if this is real kind of thing, and then it looks like November 24th. I don't know what happened on that day, but that was it. People were like, okay, this is happening. We're unsure in September, but we think so, and this is happening. I'm not saying this drove the entire price, but yeah, so they weren't doing great, right? Just kept falling. And it wasn't because people weren't building at all, right? And it wasn't just COVID, because where's COVID on? Yeah, it was already falling. It was COVID 20. So that's the COVID drop right there. Yeah. I mean, they may have dropped with everything else during COVID, but they were already dropping. And now they're rising. So I'm not saying the two things are directly connected. I'm saying that it appears as though they are. So this makes a lot of sense. Here's a question. Let's go back to 2008. Can we? All right, well, let's see. Might have went back a little bit too far in time. And I don't want to talk about Clinton and all that stuff and try and remember what years, who was who. Yes, I might have been around. And yes, I might have been blacked out for a couple of centuries. Here we go. All right. So, what do we got here? 06. They're doing good, right? This is war. Still in war. It's pretty much going this way. And then going up, feeling it. And then there we are. Okay. So now 2008 happens. Let's take a peek and make sure we're not missing C-SPAN here. Doesn't appear as though we are. It's like some small legislator decided to have a talk at the same time as Biden's or right before it. Anyways, so let's see here. So yeah, 2008, June. So it's doing good. 2008 comes, they buy the steel, and then boom, it goes down. Why? I don't know. So it's not directly correlated with Democrats and Republicans because 2016. Well, I mean, as soon as Trump came in, they did see a big bump there. Was it questionable? Maybe it's not correlated. Maybe it's just where the money's being spent. But it looks like it's going up for now. And it's going to break some rules. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like it's going to break some rules. But not in it. And I just can't trust it. I'm sure it's going to go up, but I just can't trust it. And I feel like I already lost a couple bucks, and who knows how far it's going to go up. I wouldn't stay on. So next we got Builders First Source Inc. They're seeing a little bump, right? And they're builders, so hey, right? So COVID, not COVID, boom, COVID. And then that's okay, we're still going to build stuff. And Builders First Source Inc. is a manufacturer and supplier of building materials. The company offers structural and related building products such as factory-built roof and floor trusses, wall panels and stairs, vinyl windows, custom millwork and trim, and engineered wood. The products can be designed for each... Whoa. What's going on over there at United Steel? So it kind of caught me off guard there. Engineered wood. The products can be designed for each home individually and are installed by Builders First Source. Oh, that's their name, Builders First Source. They install their own. The company's construction-related services include professional installation, turnkey framing, and shell construction. Builders First Source's customers range from large production builders to small custom home builders. And as it stands, right? I mean, it looks like they would be headed down in a minute normally, but maybe that's not the case with the infrastructure bill. Maybe that changes this red line and it starts shooting up. Does not seem to be the case with this at the moment. But, I mean, 26. Looks like both of these still have a chance to go up. Now, Comcast. Is this the right one to look at? Probably not. I don't think this is really seeing that much action, and I'm not sure what the deal is. So we'll go to that one. High-speed internet. High-speed internet, infrastructure, it should be on the list, right? Is Comcast going to see a big enough boost? I would have liked to seen, and we probably still can, the Starlink IPO could come out before, right? Is there time for... I don't know if there's time for the paperwork to get done and make all that nonsense happen, but it came out in a SPAC, it could be. But you would think, gain from the infrastructure bill. You think they'd win a majority of the contracts, because why in the world are we spending tax dollars running cables all over the place when we know they're just going to, they're not going to continue it. It's not like, they're going to take the money and continue to reach out and get cable to little Johnny at a loss once the government funding goes away, versus something like Starlink, where we put money into a satellite that gives little Johnny access to high-speed internet, and even after the government money's gone, they're going to keep putting money into the satellites, because it's not just little Johnny, it's everybody. But you run the cable, it only goes so far. And so if little Johnny lives a little bit too far out in the backcountry, I hope that government money makes it. So I'm going to watch it, because I think that they're going to get a little bit of a bump, and I think that, you know, the cable companies might get a bump. They're definitely going to get some of the money from the infrastructure bill because they know how to get it, and they've been getting it. But I don't like it. I don't like that they are. Look at that volume right there. Jeez, this thing's doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, it's got some actual volume. It's the most volume in a little bit. 30 minutes. It's following a pretty regular pattern almost. The volume, which is always interesting. A little scary. A little scary. All right, page number 4, because I just couldn't pick enough of them to be involved in. That and grab this so the bells rang. This is when okay, that's the volume. It's the end of the bell in the aftermarket. This is where I'm expecting to see some action with all of these things. So whatever thoughts people had on this one, I'm ringing the register right now. Getting out. Same thing. So a little scary. We got 2 sell-offs. 3 coming down. Technically 4, I guess. Not with these guys, but lesser known, right? Average volume 2.4, so. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Not U.S. Steel. Well, yeah, I guess they did, and now people are starting to buy it, so. Should. Another thing I want to check that does not have anything to do with that, but these things had a lot of action going on today, and so I want to see, you know, this one. This is a whole dream story, right? Ugh, or maybe it's a nightmare? This was B. This was the one going up. What happened? That's crazy. Trading higher potentially amid increased interest among retail investors. Session volume is multiples higher than average volume. The stock also has a low float, which makes it more susceptible to volatile price action. So let's see here. It's 4 o'clock there, so 17 minutes. Is it even? Not even. Oh, right. A is B. It's on the list. There's some interest in at least the Wall Street bets crowd. What are they thinking? Not much. It doesn't seem to be as much interest. Why is it showing up as there? So. That is interesting. 318 mentions. It's not bad. Information seems to be not appearing, but that's fine. So another scary thing when these things are moving up like this. Oh, speaking of scary things, the thing's moving. Well, that's boring. Just another day. Just another day. Nothing super cool happening. Oh, here we are. MU adjusted EPS beats. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. And it got up to 89 and dropped down to 86. I missed it. I missed the 89. I guess that's why you're supposed to Have them set up to move automatic, or did I? We're gonna run into tomorrow, but I don't think we are. I don't think we are. Yeah, I don't want to. Just gotta handle this real quick here. Okay. All right, let's see here. Dave and Buster's. What? Wow. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so who else are we looking at? We can just take that off the list now. GM. Interesting. All right, so we should be having these guys come on in about 13 minutes, hopefully. Make sure we get our most exciting ones set up here to pay attention, because they're already moving. So this is pretty much whatever was going to happen has pretty much happened, unless something crazy is said, and that's not likely, because we're not likely to have, you know, off the cuff crazy stuff just coming out anymore, at least not like we used to, which in a way is really, really good, and in a way is kind of sad. You know, the excitement and the fun, at least for stocks, is kind of sad. But you know, for like global safety is kind of good. But who knows? I mean, for all we know, Joe Biden will be like, "Oh, I'll fight you, whoever." We don't know. Who knows? So that's why I like. Where are they on our list? They should be on our list. KTOS. Don't have them on this list, but they are on the list. These guys, if war goes, they should make money. If infrastructure goes, they should make money, because now they're playing both killing and safety, or maybe all their stuff is safety and it just applies to the war machine. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and turn this up a little bit so we can hear the action.
Fubo TV, ticker Foxtrot Uniform Bravo Oscar, announcing a network carriage deal with Marquee Sports. That's ticker FUBO.
Dang! Look at that.
Fubo shares initially moving higher on that headline. That's ticker Foxtrot Uniform Bravo Oscar.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I tripping here? Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of a boost there. I don't know how big the news is. See if they give it all back right away. Signs the agreement. All right, we are 11 minutes till these people tell us that they're going to invest in infrastructure and wind and concrete. Hopefully they tell us. Hopefully we actually see this. Why they don't have live streams on major press releases directly on the White House's website? I don't know. Do they? White House.
Sonoma Pharma,
Go.
that's ticker Sandy November Oscar Alpha, company announcing an exclusive partnership to expand commercial channels of its microsign-based RX dermatology and eye care
Who
products
knows?
nationwide with EMC Pharma, that's ticker SNOA.
Oh, we're already live? Nope. There we go. We'll just turn that on so we can hear it when it comes on. Good. That wasn't too hard. Hopefully Twitter doesn't ban him, because how in the world would he ever... Or YouTube, you might have to release it on Vimeo.
Ag Eagle Aerial Systems, ticker Uniform Alpha Victor Sandy, reporting fiscal year 20 sales of 1.3 million, up from 297,000 in sales on a year-over-year basis. Shares of Ag Eagle moving higher following that earnings report. That's ticker UAVS.
It's like this looks
Sportsman's
just like
Warehouse, ticker Sandy Papa
Fubo's.
Whiskey Hotel, reporting Q4 beat here, earnings per share of 75 cents on sales
That's
of
crazy.
438 million. Analysts were looking for around 44 cents on sales of about 377 million out of Sportsman's Warehouse. That's ticker Sandy Papa Whiskey Hotel.
Let's see what else is going on here. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals. I'm just not looking at medical. There's going to be medical stuff. I'm sure it'll be applied to the infrastructure as well. I'm sure that there'll be... Is COVID on my bingo?
Inspire Medical Systems, ticker India November.
Oh, I still have time. I got to change it. Oh, I got to replace one of these with COVID, right?
Programmer platform. That's ticker INSP.
Oh, I don't know which one to replace. I feel like it wouldn't be fair. I can't. I mean, COVID is right. It's... Of course they're going to say COVID. You gotta
Express
in recovery.
And SPA out with Q4 results.
All right, let's go back to what we're actually supposed to be paying attention to here.
Express Spa reporting a net loss of 15.7 million versus
General
a net loss of 7.1 million in the same quarter last
Electric.
year. Sales coming in at about 300,000. Analysts have been looking for just under 2 million in sales for Express Spa's Q4 sales figure. That's ticker X-Ray Sandy Papa Alpha.
How delayed is this thing? That's insane.
Express Spa shares moving lower here after the close.
This thing is
That's
way too
ticker
delayed.
X-Ray Sandy
Feel like
Papa
I was
Alpha.
streaming in a competitive match or something. So it looks like GE is gonna let me down. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he mentions GE by name, though. I mean, if he was going to mention any of them, it might be that. This wouldn't have been much better at the moment. But we're just going to try and keep an eye on those. This, I think it's primed and ready. Not bad. Oh, well, we got a couple more minutes here. 6 more minutes. So, gonna have to get a beer. Let's grab that and that. Okay, let's see here. I miss it. No, 5
Gas
minutes.
ticker Golf Echo Sandy, company out with Q4 results. Q4 adjusted earnings 118. Analysts had been looking for about 56 cents for gas. Does not look to be comparable.
GASS? No? I think I quite heard
Gas
what he said.
sales coming in at about 648.5 million. Analysts have been looking for about 659 million out of gas. That's ticker Golf Echo Sandy.
Oh, close. Oh my God. I don't know if that just happened.
That,
It
quote,
did.
given the
That just
current
happened?
circumstances
Jeez.
regarding the COVID-19 crisis and its uncertain impact on our operations, we are not providing detailed guidance for Q1 or fiscal year 22. We expect sales in the first quarter of fiscal 22 to be down in the high single digits on a year-over-year basis. That's ticker GES.
So does that mean they did not get a handle on online sales? They were unable to do that? They are just reliant upon... Jeez, look at that. Actually, it's not that crazy. It's just so boring up to that point. Anyways, let's see here. Okay. Now let's make sure we are lined up and ready to go. General Electric. Yes. We need to convince Biden to say General Electric in the press release, right? And Portland General Electric is ready. There we go.
XL Fleet, that's ticker X-Ray Lima, company out with Q4 results. Sales 10.9 million versus 300,000 in the same quarter last year. XL reporting for fiscal year 20 a net loss of 30 cents per share versus a 19 cent per share loss in fiscal year 19. That's ticker XL.
That's no bueno.
XL Fleet shares falling from around the $9 level, touching a post-market low at $7.97. It's ticker X-Ray Lima.
That is no bueno. People buying the dip? Is that what's going on?
XL guiding Q1 sales around 1 million. That's ticker XL.
Yeah, looks like they might be. All right, we got 2 minutes here. It's a pretty exciting minute. I mean, it's moving. This thing drops, right, for the last 3 minutes, and then the 4th minute they're fighting. They're wanting in, and then the 5th one, does it keep climbing? I think it will. I think it might. I mean, because it's not that big of a deal, right? Most of the people involved in this, they weren't expecting this to be a profitable company right now, right? Maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe it's still got room to fall. $0.09, huh? Jeez. What a day. Yeah, look at that. The love is coming in. A little bit of love just to bring him back up. And then it'd probably just hang out there for forever and slowly, get back up to 10 eventually. Some amount of time. But it's climbing. It's climbing. It's going. They're trying. They're definitely trying. All right, we should be on here. What's going on? Chop. Politicians, we expect words from you people at 4:20 on the dot. We expect these words. Bingo words. Do 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 do. Let's see Viacom. Let's see what has happened with Viacom during this whole nonsense. What a fight. Who's risking that? I mean, I don't know. I guess because there's a good chance to... But look at the sell volume still going. There's got to be a point. I mean, it's holding pretty good, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's worth taking a shot on. I don't think that it would be. Yeah, there's still room for this thing to... I don't know. I don't know. It's a little scary. All right. What's going on with our... Nothing. How boring. General Electric. What are these guys doing? Are they expecting some crazy madness right now? How can this thing stay just right on that line? Unbelievable. Uh-oh. These guys are breaking the rules. Breaking the rules. Still got nothing. Direct from the White House. He's probably talking to, and the White House stream is not updated. Is that what's happening? Can't trust it. Can't trust anything. Can't trust anything these days. I guess not. Well, all right. I guess Bingo's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Well, AMD does good for the day. At the end there, I mean, a ton of... So, that's not bad. I mean, that's a lot of belief right in the end, right? Now it's just kind of hanging out, and everything's going to be kind of slow because of the after hours business. But there's always the chance that we could see some action during this time. That's some action. Nonsense right there. So this is probably going to do pretty good tomorrow. This, however, not so much.
Jaguar Health, ticker Juliet Alpha Golf X-Ray, shares moving higher following quarterly results.
It's still going up.
Excuse me, fiscal year 20 results. Company reporting
It's not bad.
total gross
Right?
product sales of about 20.5 million versus about 8.3 million in fiscal year 19. Company reporting a fiscal year 20 loss of $1 per share versus a loss of 901 in fiscal year 19. That's ticker Juliet Alpha Golf X-Ray.
What's this? Ah, Telescorp. What are they saying? Nothing.
reminder, we are waiting on a press conference.
Yes, we
from
are.
U.S. President Joe Biden. Was scheduled to begin around 4:20
Maybe he slipped and fell on the stairs.
4:20 p.m. Eastern Time.
Or maybe they realized it was 4:20 and they decided they have to get the 20 off and it's going to be 4:30. That's my guess. 5 more minutes until the press conference because somebody realized that 4:20 was going to make him look like he was sensitive to the hippies, and he couldn't be, look like that with his, his rumble and tumble buddies from the old times. Let's see, Corn Pop and all those people he likes to hang out with. Lulu Athletica. Lulumon Athletica. Results, earnings, and guidance numbers exceeded consensus estimates. It's trading lower. That's too bad. All right, who else is in our active? That does not appear to be very active. I gotta say, I feel like that's a bit of a false flag there. Let's say UA. Why? What's happening? Well, that's interesting that it's going up. And I'm just going to check on. Okay. So. That's pretty good. And it looks like the pain is coming. It looks like the pain is coming, right? Maybe not just yet, but wouldn't be surprised if it's too soon. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Ooh. That's nice. Yeah, it's just going to do what it does for a while, it looks like. Ah, yes. Another one we're hoping for. Is that not in... I think it didn't make it in this list because it was already in that list. But we have a couple of those that we're keeping our eyes on. Oh, there's KTOS. Let's see. Actually, it doesn't even matter at this point on that. Kind of does, because we are looking at the after hours to see what happens. That's what we're mainly interested in at the moment. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too special. Double check this nonsense over here. Good.
Sinclair Broadcast Group, ticker SBGI, and Bally's will formally rebrand its regional sports network as Bally Sports
Well, looks like the people like that. I don't know. COVID? Yep. What happened? Man. And now they're rebranding? Well, whatever happened, they've decided that rebranding was the right decision. I'm guessing that decision occurred after that. I mean, it's been a few days, so a few weeks. What happened? Why? Why did they? I almost don't want to even find out why. Well, I guess it would help to know what day this occurred. So somewhere between the 17th and the 18th, everybody loses their minds. Statements, Form A, Form 4. Oh, so they brought, okay. They launched, that's not them. But they're somehow associated with that, so nothing. Huh. So is this separate from them then, I guess? That's interesting. What's the deal, Biden? What is the deal? Now he's taking a page out of Trump's book, making everybody wait. Oh yeah, I'll be there at 2 o'clock. 3, be there at 4:20. See you then.
Arcimoto, ticker Foxtrot Uniform Victor, company reporting fiscal year 20 sales about 2.2 million versus just under 1 million in fiscal year 19. A loss of 63 cents per share versus an 85-cent per share loss in fiscal year 19. Company says it had 39.4 million in cash and cash equivalents as of December 31st, 2020. That's ticker Foxtrot Uniform Victor.
I don't know about this. I don't know about this nonsense. This does not get me excited at all.
Telos, ticker Tango Lima Sandy, company announcing a follow-on offering via selling shareholders. No terms disclosed for the offering. That's ticker Tango Lima Sandy.
Ooh, that's exciting. Jeez, I guess it needed to be. That's kind of
Air
crazy.
Lease, ticker AL, company announcing delivery of one new Boeing 787-9 aircraft on a long-term lease to Air Premier in South Korea. That's ticker AL.
When all the fun stuff happens. All the fun stuff. Alright, what are we doing? We're finally doing something here? Something? Trying to? But they won't let you? Oh, it's gonna be a battle. What is the deal with these people? What is the deal? 14 minutes. Like normally, don't you show up early to things like a little bit if you say you're going to do something at a certain time? I mean, I don't, but shouldn't they? I'm not in government. They're in government. Shouldn't they? Maybe they're trying to boost the amount of people waiting to watch the stream, but the stream's already technically started. Are we ever going to see the stream? Probably not. There's no chat log on there, so we got our bingo card ready to go. We got our stocks that we want to watch ready to go that are just being boring right now. Unless there's something we missed. Is there anything we missed here? Ooh. I mean, that's kind of exciting, right? Not really, but it's kind of exciting. We got this. Everyone's just waiting.
Azure AREC Bio, that's ticker Alpha Zulu Romeo X-Ray, company out with another press release entitled Provides Key Takeaways from Phase 2B Option 2 Trial Top Line Results Conference Call.
Jeez! That's, whoa, man, this is horrible.
Now approaching the podium for his afternoon press conference.
While this company's falling into the dirt. Is he approaching the podium and they're just not showing it on this? All right, so I guess we're going to have to... You can't watch it directly through the White House because the White House isn't in time? This is nonsense.
In that Azure RX Biopharma press release, a comment from a company exec, quote, to summarize, the best word to describe the option 2 top line results is mixed.
All right, let's see what they gotta say.
Welcome to Pennsylvania, Mr. President. My name is Mike Fiore, and I'm a senior line worker in Duquesne Light, a proud member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 29, right here in Pittsburgh. From day one of this pandemic, me and my co-workers have been on the front lines. It's my job. There's no working from home. We've kept the lights on and the power running in the communities throughout of Western Pennsylvania. Every day I deal with our electrical grid, so I know how critical infrastructure is to our communities. That's why I'm so excited about Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan. Nearly everyone agrees that we need to modernize our roads, bridges, power grids, airports, and railroads. That we need to invest in new energy technologies and American-made manufacturing. But what President Biden is proposing isn't just an investment in infrastructure, it's an investment in good union jobs. It's an investment in good schools and strong communities. It's an investment in the future of so many forgotten paths in America. My brother teaches at Pine Richland High School in Benzinga, just north of here. The same high school we both went to. The kind of investment Joe Biden is talking about would mean so much to his school and to his students, both now and in the years to come. For example, President Biden proposes a massive expansion of high-speed broadband, and that's critical to the health of so many small towns in this area. I've got 2 little kids at home myself, and I don't want to see them leave the area or even the state to find opportunities. The Build Back Better plan is directed at communities like mine. It's about opening up opportunities, revitalizing local businesses, and creating jobs. For decades, Pennsylvania was a global leader in manufacturing and good union jobs. It can be that way again, as President Biden has a solid plan to make that happen. I also don't want my kids growing up in a world where the threat of climate change hangs over their heads. That means investing in electrical vehicle charging infrastructures and all forms of clean power technology, so we can slash carbon emissions and create tens of thousands of green energy jobs. Union jobs. And that's exactly what President Biden is proposing. Here's another reason I'm so excited about this. I'm 100% a union guy. It is in my blood.
We can tell.
It changed my life, and it gave me opportunities I could never have dreamed of. Being a line worker isn't always easy, but thanks to my union, I enjoy a great paycheck, strong health and retirement benefits, and a voice on the job. Here's who else is a union guy. Joe Biden. And he said again and again, unions built the middle class. That's why his plan supports collective bargaining rights. It supports a living wage and making sure the taxpayer money goes to supporting American-made manufacturing. The men and women of the IBEW are ready to get to work, rebuilding our infrastructure, retooling our plants, and revitalizing our communities and the middle class. We're ready to build America back better. So it is my pleasure and it is my honor to introduce the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's your turn, buddy. Come on. Come on up. Smart. Okay. I'll give him that. Does he taste your food too? Probably. It's smart, though. It's the right thing to do, right? Oh, now it's not smart anymore. 2 people.
Thank you. Mike asked me, and say to Bobby, my good friend, he asked me back there, he said, do you ever get nervous? And he said, because I got up this morning and made breakfast for my kids, so I got to introduce the president. And what I say to you, Mike, you did a heck of a job, but I'd get nervous if I had to get up in the middle of the night,
climb up a telephone pole, replace in the middle of a storm a connection that knocked out everybody's electricity, put a transformer. That's what would make me nervous. So what you did was really good. I couldn't do what you do, pal. I couldn't do what you do. And I want to, and it's true, Mike, you're a union guy? Me too. I got in trouble.
Seems like it's a question.
Making apologies for it. I'm a union guy. I support unions. Unions built the middle class, and it's about time they start to get a piece of the action. To all my colleagues,
Unions weren't getting a piece of the action?
the county executive, and the mayor, and everyone that's here, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Congressman, for the passport in your district, and I appreciate being here. I'm honored to be with you. 2 years ago, I began my campaign here in Pittsburgh, saying I was running to rebuild the backbone of America.
Backbone.
Today,
I should have had
I
backbone.
return as your president to lay out the vision of how I believe we do that, rebuild the backbone of America. It's a vision
American manufacturing.
not seen through the eyes of Wall Street or Washington, but through the eyes of hardworking people, like the people I grew up with.
Damn it.
People like Mike and his union family.
Union. Why didn't I have
workers,
union?
Carpenters Training Center. People like the folks I grew up with in Scranton and Claymont, Delaware.
I should have had
People
Scranton.
get up every day, work hard, raise their family, pay their taxes, serve their country, and volunteer for their communities, and just looking for a little bit of breathing room, just a little bit of light. Ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. People who break their necks every day for their families
Jeez,
and the
dude.
country they love.
Sounds so rough.
Country that, in fact, which on the day I was elected was in extreme distress, with the virus on a deadly rampage.
It still
It
is.
has now
Right?
killed over 500. I carry it in my pocket every day. I have a list of exactly how many have died.
Very dark.
547,296 Americans dead from the virus. More than all the people killed in World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, 9/11. 547,296 Americans. And an economy that left millions out of work and created so much anxiety.
Was economy?
That's why I moved so quickly to pass the American Rescue Plan with the help of my friends here in the Congress. I really mean that. It didn't pass by a whole lot, but with the leadership of Connor and Bobby and the Mayor, just, you got it done. Because it was an emergency. We needed to act to save jobs,
Jobs.
to save businesses,
I got
to
jobs.
save lives. And that's what we did. We're beginning to see the results. We're on our way to having given 200 million vaccination shots in the first 100 days of my presidency. When I said I'd get 100 million done, people thought it was a significant exaggeration. We're going to get 200 million done, twice the original goal, because of all the help of all of you. Leading economists are now predicting our economy will grow 6% this year. That's a rate we haven't seen in years and years. We can cut child poverty in half this year. With the American Rescue Plan, we're meeting immediate emergencies. Now it's time to rebuild. Even before the crisis we're now facing, those at the very top in America were doing very well, which is fine. They were doing great. But everyone else was falling behind. The pandemic only made the division so much worse and more obvious. Millions of Americans lost their jobs last year, while the wealthiest 1% of Americans saw their net worth increase by $4 trillion. Just goes to show you how distorted and unfair our economy has become. It wasn't always this way.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, it's time to change that. I I note parenthetically that I got criticized for giving tax breaks to middle class and poor folks this last time. I didn't hear that cry, you and cry, when we were doing the same thing.
There must be a union.
When Trump's tax bill passed, 83% of the money went to the top 1%. You know, this is not to target those who've made it.
Oh, here comes the
Not
tax.
to seek
I didn't have it on
retribution.
the
This is
list.
about opening opportunities for everybody else.
Does that count?
Here's the truth.
I don't know if that counts.
We
That
all
counts,
will
right?
do better when we all do well.
He didn't say taxes.
It's time to build our economy from the bottom up and from the middle out, not the top down. That hadn't worked very well. For the economy overall, it hadn't worked. Because Wall Street didn't build this country.
Wall Street?
Great middle class built this country.
And
And unions
the market, bro.
built the middle class. And it's time, this time, when we rebuild the middle class, we're going to bring everybody along. Regardless of your background, your color, your religion, whatever, everybody gets to come along.
You said the winter
So
or the
today-
winter? What?
I'm proposing a plan
Can I go?
for the nation that rewards work, not just rewards wealth.
I guess I don't get to go.
It builds a fairer economy that gives everybody a chance to succeed. And it's going to create the strongest, most resilient, innovative economy in the world. It's not a plan that tinkers around the edges. It's a once-in-a-generation investment in America, unlike anything we've seen or done since we built the interstate highway system and the space race decades ago. In fact,
That's roads.
it's the largest
Like,
American
that
jobs
counts as
investment since World War II.
I think
Will create
taxes and
millions of
roads
jobs,
are-
good paying jobs, will grow the economy,
God, roads are-
make us more competitive around the world,
The hell?
promote our national security interests, and put us in a position to win the global competition with China in the upcoming years. It's big, yes. It's bold, yes. And we can get it done. It has two parts.
With this money,
The American
baby.
Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan.
Job's already in
Both are
there.
essential to our economic future.
I still say
In a few
taxes
weeks-
are covered, but
I'll talk about the Americans Families Plan, but today I want to talk about the Americans Jobs Plan. I'll begin with the heart of the plan.
jobs.
It modernizes transportation infrastructure. Our roads, our bridges, our
Roads.
airports. I just left your
That
airport.
counts.
The director of the airport said we're about to renovate the airport. Is that right, Mr. County
Can you say
Executive?
airlines?
We're going to renovate. We're going to employ thousands of people. And she looked at me and said, I can't thank you enough for this plan. It grows the economy in key ways. It puts people to work,
Where is
to repair and upgrade that we badly need.
airlines?
It makes it easier and more efficient to move goods, to get to work, and to make us more competitive around the world. Some of you local officials know when someone wants to come in the area and a company wants to invest, what do they ask? Where's the first rail bed? How can I get to the railroad? What access to interstate do I have? What's the water like? Tell me about
That's
it.
rails.
On and on. It's about infrastructure.
About to get it. About to get
The
steel.
American
Come
Jobs
on.
Plan will modernize 20,000 miles of highways, roads, and main streets that are in difficult shape right now. It'll fix the nation's 10 most economically significant bridges in America that require
gonna put bridges.
replacement. Remember
From
that bridge that went down?
steel?
We got 10 most economically significant bridges with more commerce going across it that need to be replaced. We'll also repair 10,000 bridges, desperately needed upgrades
Where is?
to unclog traffic, keep people safe, and connect our cities, towns, and tribes across the country. American
Don't say
Jobs Plan
tribes.
will build new rail corridors and transit lines, easing congestion, cutting pollution, slashing commute times, and opening up investment in communities that become connected to the cities and cities to the outskirts, where a lot of jobs are these days. It will reduce the bottlenecks of commerce at our ports and our airports,
Say
The
Eric
American Jobs Plan will lead to a transformational progress in our effort to tackle climate change with American jobs and American ingenuity. Protect our community from billions of dollars of damage from historic superstorms, floods, wildfires, droughts, year after year, by making our infrastructure more secure and resilient and seizing incredible opportunities for American workers and American farmers in a clean energy future. Skilled workers, like one we just heard from, building a nationwide network of 500,000 charging stations, creating good-paying jobs by leading the world in the manufacturing and export of clean electric cars and trucks. We're going to provide tax incentives and point-of-sale rebates to help all American families afford clean vehicles of the future. The federal government owns an enormous fleet of vehicles, which are going to be transitioned to clean electric vehicles and hydrogen vehicles right here in the United States of America by American workers with American products. When we make all of these investments, we're going to make sure, as the executive order I signed early on, that we buy American. That means investing in American-based companies and American workers. Not a contract will go out that I control that will not go to a company that is an American company with American products all the way down the line and American workers. And we'll buy the goods we need from all of America. Communities that have historically been left out of these investments. Black, Latino, Asian American, Native Americans, rural, small businesses, entrepreneurs across the country. Look, today, up to 10 million homes in America and more than 400,000 schools and child care centers have pipes where they get their water from, pipes.
Did I have water? I didn't have water.
Lead-based pipes, including pipes for drinking water.
How did I not have water?
According to scientists, there is simply no safe exposure to lead for a child. Lead can slow development, cause learning behaviors, and hearing problems. The American Jobs Plan will put plumbers and pipe fitters to work, replacing 100% of the nation's lead pipes and service lines. So
over what period of time?
Every child can turn on a faucet of our fountain.
Can you start in Flint, Michigan?
Water. With each $5,000 investment, replacing a line that can mean up to $22,000 in health care costs saved. Chance to protect our children, help them learn and thrive.
We'll see.
You can't delay another minute.
Yep.
It's long past due.
You're right.
You know, in America, where the early interest was in internet, this thing called the internet that we invested, we invented the early internet.
So we're going to talk 5G?
It was invented here.
Is that what you're talking about?
Millions of Americans, though, lack access to reliable high-speed internet, including more than 35%
Where
of
is
rural America.
Comcast?
It's a disparity even more pronounced during this pandemic. American Jobs will make sure every single American has access to high-quality, affordable, high-speed internet for businesses, for schools. And when I say affordable, I mean it. Americans pay too much for internet service. We're going to drive down the price for families who have service now and make it easier for families who don't have affordable service to be able to get it now. As we saw in Texas and elsewhere, our electrical power and power grids are vulnerable to storms, catastrophic failures, and security lapses, with tragic results. My American Jobs Plan will put hundreds of thousands of people to work, line workers, electricians, and laborers, laying thousands of miles of transmission line, building a modern, resilient, and fully clean grid, and capping hundreds of thousands of, literally, orphan oil and gas wells that need to be cleaned up because they're abandoned, paying the same exact rate that a union man or woman would get having dug that well in the first place. We'll build, upgrade, and weatherize affordable, energy-efficient housing and commercial buildings for millions of Americans.
I mean,
even before the pandemic,
it is
millions of working families faced enormous financial and personal strain trying to raise their kids and care for their parents at the same time. The so-called sandwich generation, or family members with disability. You got a child at home, you can't stay home from work to take care of that child unless you lose, the child's at risk, or you lose your job. Or you have an elderly parent you're taking care of. And seniors and people with disabilities living independently feel that strain as well, but we know if they can remain independently living, they live longer.
wait, so what are we talking
American
about?
Jobs Plan is going to help in a big way.
Child care?
It's going to extend access to quality, affordable home community-based care.
Building? What?
Think of expanded vital services like programs for seniors. Or think of home care workers going into homes of seniors and people with disabilities, cooking meals, helping them get around their homes, and helping them be able to live more independently. For too long,
I'm not sure if I follow.
Disproportionate women and women of color and immigrants have been unseen, underpaid, and undervalued.
How are you doing this in the infrastructure bill?
The American Families Plan changes that with better wages, benefits, and opportunities for millions of people who will be able to get to work in an economy that works for them. Now, decades ago, the United States government used to spend 2% of its GDP, its gross domestic product, on research and development. Today,
Ooh, come on.
we spend less than 1%. I think it's 0.7%.
Come on, give me a good number. Give me 5.
Here's why that matters.
You're not gonna.
One of only a few major economies in the world whose public investment in research and development as a share of GDP has declined constantly over the last 25 years.
So how much is it gonna be?
And we've fallen back. The rest of the world is closing in and closing in fast.
Come on, I'm dying here. Give me a number.
We can't allow this to continue. American Jobs Plan is the biggest increase in our federal non-defense research and development spending on record. It's going to boost America's innovative edge.
Wait a minute.
And market for global leadership is up for grabs. Markets like battery technology,
Batteries.
technology, computer chips, clean energy, the competition with China in particular. Critics say we shouldn't spend this money. They ask, what do we get out of it?
I don't know where the R&D comes from in this
They
statement,
said the
but
same thing when we first flew into space for the first time. They said the same thing. Well, pushing the frontiers led to big benefits back home. When NASA created Apollo's digital flight control system,
space?
unheard of at the time, it led to technologies that help us today to drive our cars and fly our planes. When NASA invented ways to keep food safe for the astronauts, it led to programs that have been used for decades to keep food safe in supermarkets. At least 2,000 products and services have been developed and commercialized as a result of American space exploration.
Yeah,
GPS
I'm all about Eric.
helps us
Where's
find
Eric at? That's on my list.
Computer chips allow us to see and talk to one another, even when we're separated
Right
by
there.
oceans. Singing happy birthday and watching the first steps of that new baby grandchild. Comforting each other when comfort is needed.
I'm all for Eric.
Think about it, what it
Eric.
means for you and your loved ones. You just have to imagine again. I had a long discussion with Xi Jinping, leader of China.
Was it about what percentage we were going to spend on R&D? Because that's what you brought up, and then you never gave a number. You just said that we're down to 1.5%.
Astonished my national security team and the
Or
China
we're at
instruction
1.5%.
on the line. He said, "You've always said, Mr. President, that you can define America in one word: possibilities. That's who we are. In America, anything's possible."
That's compelling. Is it possible
Like
for you to
what we
give me
did
the
with
number on
vaccines
the
a decade
R&D
ago. We
budget?
laid the foundation for COVID-19 vaccines we have today. Like we did when the interstate highway system that transformed the way we traveled, lived, worked, and developed.
No.
Americans could visit relatives anywhere in the country.
Come on.
Just a family station wagon. Business here in Pittsburgh could load up a truck to get a product to Portland or Phoenix. To this day, about a quarter of all the miles Americans drive each year on one of those very original highways. Imagine what we can do, what's within our reach if we modernize those highways. You and your family can travel coast to coast without a single tank of gas on board a high-speed train. You can connect high-speed, affordable, reliable internet wherever you live.
Internet?
Imagine knowing that you are handing your children and grandchildren a country that will lead the world in producing clean energy technology and will need to address one of the biggest threats of our time.
I just want to hand them a country that's not falling to pieces.
That's what we'll do.
We do that.
Altogether, along with the American Rescue Plan, the proposal I put forward will create millions of jobs.
Jobs.
Estimated by some Wall Street outfits over 18 million jobs.
Oh, wow.
Good
Okay.
paying jobs. It also works to level the playing field, empower workers, and ensure that the new jobs are good jobs.
And union
To raise a family on, and ensure free and fair choice to organize and bargain collectively. That's why my plan asks Congress to pass the Protecting the Right to Organize Act.
So if you're not in a union, you're
Send it to
screwed?
my desk.
What's the deal?
This plan is important, not only for what and how it builds, but also important to where we build. It includes everyone, regardless of your race or zip code. Too often, economic growth and recovery is concentrated on the coast. Too often, investments fail to meet the needs of marginalized communities left behind. There's talent and innovation everywhere. And this plan connects that talent through cities, small towns, rural communities, through our businesses and our universities, through our entrepreneurs, union workers, all across the world.
CHSA? No,
move
CHS.
I'm convinced if we act now, in 50 years, people are going to look back and say,
CHR.
this was the moment that America won the future. What I'm proposing is a one-time capital investment of roughly $2 trillion in America's future, spread largely over 8 years. It will generate historic job growth, historic economic growth, help businesses to compete internationally, create more revenue as well. They are among the highest value investments we can make in the nation, investing in our infrastructure. But put another way, failing to make these investments adds to our debt and effectively puts our children at a disadvantage relative to our competitors. That's what crumbling infrastructure does. And our infrastructure is crumbling. It ranked 13th in the world. What's more, it heightens our vulnerability to an attack. Attracts our adversaries to compete in ways that they haven't up to now.
What? What are you talking about?
Our adversaries are worried about us building this critical infrastructure.
Really? Yeah, let's show them.
These are investments
We're gonna make some roads.
We can't afford to make them. Put another, we can't afford not to.
Yeah.
So how do we pay for it?
Taxes, say
I
taxes.
spoke to the majority leader. No longer, I guess he's no longer the majority
Say
leader.
it.
He has been for a long time.
Say it.
I spoke to the Republican leader about the plan. Everybody's for doing something on infrastructure.
Oh my God, will
Why
you
do
say
we do it?
taxes?
Well, no one wants to pay for it. Less than 4 years ago, as I said, the Congress passed a tax cut.
Boom! That's close enough. I'm taking it.
$2 trillion. It didn't meet virtually any of the predictions it would in terms of growing the economy. Overwhelmingly, the benefits of that tax package went to the wealthiest Americans. It even included new investments that would profit by shifting profits and jobs overseas if you're a corporation. It was bad for American competitors, deeply unfair to the middle-class families, and wrong for our future. So here's what I do.
What?
I start with one rule.
Mm-hmm.
No one, I say it again, no one making under $400,000 will see their federal taxes go up, period.
Is that individual or combined?
This is not about penalizing anyone. I have nothing against millionaires and billionaires. I believe American capitalism. I want everyone to do well. But here's the deal.
None of that.
Right now, a middle-class couple, a firefighter and a teacher, with 2 kids, making a combined salary of, say, $110,000, $120,000 a year, pays 22 cents for each additional dollar they earn in federal income tax. But a multinational corporation that builds a factory abroad, brings it home and sells, they pay nothing at all. We're going to raise the corporate tax. It was 35%, which is too high. We all agreed 5 years ago it should go down to 28%, but they reduced it to 21%. We're going to raise it back to up to 28%. No one should be able to complain about that. It's still lower than what that rate was between World War II and 2017. Just doing that one thing will generate $1 trillion in additional revenue over 15 years.
And that's a good
In
sign.
2019, an independent analysis found that there are 91, let me say it again, 91 Fortune 500 companies, biggest companies in the world, including Amazon, that use various loopholes so they pay not a single solitary penny in federal income tax. I don't want to punish them, that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Wait, what?
Farmer and teacher paying 22%. Amazon and 90 other major corporations paying zero in federal taxes.
Amazon's not going to move on this, right?
I'm going to put an end to that. Here's how we'll do it. We're establishing a global minimum tax for U.S. corporations of 21%. We're going to level the international playing field. That alone will raise $1 trillion over 15 years. We'll also eliminate deductions by corporations for offshoring jobs and shifting assets overseas. You do that, you pay a penalty. You don't get a reward, in my plan. And use the savings from that to give companies tax credits to locate manufacturing here and manufacturing and production here in the United States.
Why didn't I have manufacturing?
And we'll significantly ramp up the IRS enforcement against corporations who either fail to report their incomes or underreport. It's estimated that could raise hundreds of billions of dollars. All this adds up to more than what I proposed to spend in just 15 years. It's honest, it's fiscally responsible, and by the way, as the experts will tell you, it reduces the debt, the federal debt over the long haul. But let me be clear, these are my ideas on how to pay for this plan. Others have additional ideas, let them come forward. I'm open to other ideas.
I have some ideas.
I don't impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000.
Say steel
Let me close with this.
or geothermal.
Historically, infrastructure had been a bipartisan undertaking, many times led by Republicans. It was Abraham Lincoln who built the Transcontinental Railroad. Dwight Eisenhower, Republican, the interstate highway system. I could go on. And I don't think you'll find a Republican today in the House or Senate, maybe I'm wrong, gentlemen, who doesn't think we have to improve our infrastructure. They know China and other countries are eating our lunch.
Ain't nobody eating my lunch,
There's
bro.
no reason why it can't be bipartisan again.
Not having that.
The divisions of the moment shouldn't stop us from doing the right thing for the future. I'm going to bring Republicans into the Oval Office, listen to them, what they have to say, and be open to other ideas. We'll have a good faith negotiation with any Republican who wants to help get this done. But we have to get it done. I truly believe we're in a moment where history is going to look back on this time as a fundamental choice having been made between democracies and autocracies. You know, there's a lot of autocrats in the world who think the reason why they're going to win is democracies can't reach consensus any longer. Autocracies do. That's what competition between America and China and the rest of the world is all about. It's a basic question. Can democracies still deliver for their people? Can they get a majority? I believe we can. I believe we must.
Those two things aren't
Delivering
necessarily
to the American
connected.
people is what the American
Are they?
Rescue Plan was all about. And it's been overwhelmingly popular when I wrote it. Everybody said I had no bipartisan support. There were overwhelming bipartisan support with Republican, registered Republican voters. And ask around. If you live in a town with a Republican mayor, Republican county executive or Republican governor, ask them how many would rather get rid of the plan. Ask them if it helped them at all. It's what the American Job Plan is about. The new one I'm proposing. I hope Republicans and Congress will join this effort. I hope and I believe a number of businesses will join this effort. And I hope and believe the American people will join this effort. Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, we can do this. We have to do this. We will do this. We just have to remember, this is the United States of America. And I've said it 1,000 times. There's nothing beyond our capacity.
He's not going to say any of these things.
If we act together. So it's time to move together. Thank you, and I hope I get to come back to see you folks after this plan is passed. And the question is, you have to attract even more apprentices, more people, because of
Union.
God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Okay, so he talked about airports, but not airlines. He did talk about Wall Street, but not mention the market specifically. Nothing on geothermal. I didn't hear solar, and I didn't hear wind. I might have missed it. And he talked about building, but not construction. So we're not gonna win, but we are gonna take a quick little. This was mentioned. This was mentioned. And this was technically mentioned. And steel was not mentioned. Concrete, I think, was, right? EV was not mentioned, unless I missed it. So that is interesting. And I don't think anybody... GE seemed to care, but wind wasn't mentioned. I don't remember him mentioning wind power at all. I'm sure it's in there, but it wasn't brought up, so that's maybe a good thing. Maybe these guys didn't think it was, but GE probably doesn't care. They got plenty of other nonsense. I mean, these people seem to do well. I'm not sure why. I don't feel like there was anything that led me to believe that this would have been huge, but somebody else thought so. Infrastructure alternative in general did not feel anything. AMD, he did indirectly mention chips and technology. He mentioned R&D and then just kind of got away from it, mentioned how much, and look, there it goes. He mentioned that the R&D bill, percentage was horrible, so that should be great for growth. It's just that he didn't mention what percentage of the budget was going to go to it. He just mentioned that it was too low. Too damn low. He did mention the internet and high-speed internet accessibility, which 5G and phones is one heck of a way to get it there right away, or satellites, but I have a feeling the cable companies will benefit more from that. I hope not. He did mention airports, but didn't go too much into it, and didn't really mention airlines. So that's interesting. Building, so that automatically is going to cover equipment to build with. These people didn't seem to do too great during this. And steel, he didn't necessarily mention, but he did mention roads and bridges and crumbling infrastructure. So, I mean, I'm sure this is still a good play. These guys didn't move. But I feel like they're going to benefit from this more than they should. That's too bad. He did mention water and cleaning the pipes out, and don't these guys investor-owned U.S. water wastewater utility serving approximately, I guess that would have something to do with some of these places. I mean, that was the whole Flint, Michigan thing, right? Was a failure in that area, in the wastewater. They completely failed and contaminated the water and need to redo those pipes and all that nonsense. And supposedly something's going to be done about water, but no direct mention of Flint, which still doesn't have water. That's too bad. Vulcan should be a huge winner in this. I mean, all signs point to Vulcan. He mentioned roads numerous times. And so, yeah, Vulcan's got to do well during this. United Rentals, for sure, somebody really liked this idea, or more than one person, because that's unless there's something else that happened that I'm unaware of. A solid long-term play. Yeah, I guess so. Expert ratings. I mean, that's so in that conversation, for some reason, and then these guys didn't do as well. So, I don't know. It's all very interesting. Then we have the stuff that I'm watching and hoping for here. And, I mean, he didn't mention charging stations that I remember. No boost from there. So, plug and charge point didn't see much of a move. He mentioned battery, but I mean, it was very... Maybe he doesn't understand it. I don't know. He mentioned the word battery. It was on the bingo card. It was mentioned early on. I feel like it was kind of skimmed over. We did mention roads and battery. Mentioned roads a lot. Rail, a lot. Jobs, of course, a million times. American, not as much as jobs. And he mentioned oil briefly. Didn't mention EV. Mentioned taxes. Tax. And indirectly spoke about it, but I don't remember him covering wind, solar. I didn't expect him to cover geothermal, but I was hopeful that he might. Banks, I don't think he touched on banks at all. The market, not really. So, there you have it. That is the deal. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're green tomorrow.